I recently came across a fact that got me thinking. If you look at the average retirement savings for women versus men, for baby boomers, Gen X, or even millennials, women save on average much lesser than men. Of course, it could be the wage gap, where women earn only 84 cents for every dollar earned by men, but even with the wage gap, why does the average baby boomer woman have only $100,000 saved, while baby boomer men have $250,000 saved? That is more than double. Same for Gen X and same for millennials. The wage gap is one thing, but what about spending habits? And on this quest, on finding out more about spending habits by gender, I uncovered a much larger problem, and in fact a multi-trillion-dollar industry around the concept of female insecurity. Of course, men can also be insecure, there's no denying that, but this calculated targeting towards women is truly sinister and something worth exploring. It all starts with targeting how someone looks, in particular beauty standards. The global beauty and personal care market was valued at approximately $511 billion in 2021 and is projected to reach around $784 billion by 2027. That is an increase of more than $200 billion in 5 years. By constantly shifting the beauty standard and changing the meaning of what it means to be physically attractive, these corporations and companies selling beauty products make lifelong customers. The average woman spends around $3,800 on beauty products each year, with some women spending $15,000 on cosmetics over their lifetime. These advertising tactics also use emotionally charged narratives to create a sense of urgency and the need for beauty products. The American Psychological Association reports that 60% of women reported feeling pressure to conform to societal beauty standards, in particular driving sales for anti-aging and skin perfecting products. And according to dozens of research papers, skin conditions and the quality of skin quote-unquote is mostly a factor of your genetics and not the combination of products you use. A fact that these anti-aging beauty products and beauty products in general leave behind. The role of celebrities is also pretty devilish in this, with the psychology of popular media reporting that women exposed to celebrity endorsements of beauty products were more likely to purchase them, even when they were aware of the unrealistic standards being set, just because of that celebrity endorsement. And of course, celebrities have no liability when it comes to promoting products they know are not going to work for the large majority of women. Many brands, for example L'Oreal, have faced backlash over their advertising strategy, with some reports suggesting that only 5% of women felt that they could see themselves represented in beauty ads. And this number is getting even worse. In 2021, a report found out that over 30% of teenagers reported feeling inadequate when it comes to beauty after using social media. This, coupled with the fact of celebrity endorsements being pretty unmonitored, leads to an extremely messy situation, with tons of beauty brands also being caught for misleading claims about product effectiveness, something that they're able to cover up by sponsoring particular leading research at institutions to justify their products. This feeling of inadequacy and not being enough is not only limited to how you look, it also moves on to what you wear. Before we dig deeper though, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to smash the subscribe button and the like button if you enjoy learning more about money, how to save or grow it, or just understand it better. Fashion, a market size of $1.5 trillion in 2020, reaching $2.25 trillion by 2025, and in particular, fast fashion, a type of fashion that emphasizes rapid production and low-cost clothing, being led by brands like Shein and expected to grow at an exponential rate. Fashion in itself is not bad, you are allowed to express yourself as you want, but these brands use representation to make people feel out of place. A recent report by the Fashion Institute of Technology found that only 23% of women in the US wear size 0 to 4, yet most fashion ads, over 90%, feature models within that size range, enforcing the notion that only certain body types are quote-unquote fashionable. Because of course, if you're not seeing a certain body type being associated with big brands like Zara, Shein, even luxury brands like Dior, it is natural to assume that your body is perhaps not fashionable. And this is seen in the self-perception women have of themselves. The Fashion Retail Academy found that 90% of women have experienced negative body image due to fashion advertising, with 67% saying they feel pressure to conform to industry standards. That is 2/3, 2 out of every 3 females have a problem with what they wear. This industry is also plagued with extremely edited photos, photos. So much so that some authorities, including the UK government, announced a crackdown on misleading advertising in the fashion industry, specifically targeting brands that use digitally altered images to promote unrealistic beauty standards, or in simpler terms, Photoshop. According to research, this all culminates in women spending $1,800 annually on clothing every single year. So now you're not satisfied with how your skin looks and you're not satisfied with what you wear. How do you fix this? Well, you have to change yourself. Ignoring the extreme rise in cosmetic procedures in the United States, also known as plastic surgery, with more than 2.3 million cosmetic procedures being performed, with Botox being the most popular non-surgical procedure, even if we ignore that, there's an entire industry of wellness and fitness full with lies and deceit that overpromise and underdeliver on actually healthy habits. And influencer culture is the culprit again. Public Health Nutrition found that 67% of women reported feeling pressure to emulate the body types of fitness influencers. Now these influencers, including the Kardashian family at the forefront, and not to single them out, there's thousands of fitness influencers online, propagate a body type that is simply not humanly achievable unless you get plastic surgery or medical procedures. And these same influencers pitch fitness products including weight loss routines, workout classes, nutritional pills and supplements, anything and everything to get a check, at the same time avoiding liability through complicated contracts, and in most cases not certifying the actual efficacy of the product itself. And in most cases, the products being pitched and the workout classes / programs being pitched have nothing to do with the type of body the fitness influencer has attained. A popular instance is influencers promoting detox teas, often showcasing rapid weight loss. But in 2022, a study in JAMA International Medicine found that such products are often not backed by scientific evidence, and several other studies followed showing the same. Put this into perspective, the average woman spends around $1,500 annually on fitness-related expenses, including gym memberships, workout classes, fitness apparel, diet and nutrition products, etc., etc. If, hypothetically, most of these are not effective, shouldn't the people pitching these and having so much influence over the lives of people be held accountable? Why does the system let influencers get away with false advertising under the guise of a sponsored post? I guess I'm not high enough to ask that question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. This is particularly appalling with weight loss. A lot of fitness influencers promote yo-yo dieting, which simply means eat nothing for a long period of time for rapid weight loss, restricting your diet and having unhealthy meal replacements. And 80% of women who follow these diets, according to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, that is a long name, end up gaining weight back substantially more than they had before they actually followed the program. So to summarize, you end up feeling terrible about yourself, you don't like how you look, you don't like what you wear, and you end up trying to lose weight and you end up gaining more weight. So now you're just overall in a worse position than you were before. Does this ever get better? There are some bright spots though. A lot of brands are refocusing their attention to be more inclusive and, more importantly, be more realistic about what it means to be beautiful. And this change is not because the brands wanted the change. They would never want to change if they could control it themselves, as long as it means printing money. This is also changing because of social media. I've highlighted some of the negatives about social media, but the positives are also there, with real actual people also posting their experiences about health and nutrition. Particularly Gen Z values authenticity from online influencers and personalities way more than any other preceding generation. I guess this doesn't remove the power from the hands of influencers, but things seem to be trending in the right direction if a majority of people value authenticity and unsponsored posts over sponsored material. The problem of false advertising and unrealistic expectations still remain though. What we can do personally is hold people accountable. If you see an influencer or an individual preaching unrealistic and simply otherworldly claims like losing 100 pounds in a month or doing yoga once a week to get an extremely good body, we should call them out and we should at least do our part in holding them accountable. At the same time, also hoping that as a society, there's some better regulations in the future about promoting products that have absolutely zero scientific backing and getting away with it just because it's a sponsored post. I can only hope for a world where the Kardashians and all these other influencers influencers actually face the real consequences of what they have done, not just hypothetically to how women feel about themselves, but also in reality, with promoting blatant scams like the Fire Festival, amongst several other products. Here's to hoping for a more secure world, not just for women, but for every person. And don't forget to smash the subscribe button, the like button, and the comment button if you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.